tears from a star, like tears from a star. On and on the rain will say how fragile we are, how fragile we are, how fragile we are.
For many years, Liao Yiwu was one of China's most popular young poets. He was published in the best journals and magazines, and he won prizes for his verse about his native Sichuan, a province famous for having more poets than anywhere else in China. As a reward for his excellent poetry, Liao was given a job in the cultural administration of Fuling. He discovered a dirty, depressing, industrial city. His mood changed, and he became somber and despairing. At this time, he began to read the works of Dante, Sylvia Plath, and Allen Ginsberg. All this resulted in 1987 in a poem called The City of Death. It was severely criticized, some say even by the then Premier Deng Xiaoping himself, for being, and I quote, against the spirit of the times. Liao lost his job, refused to undertake self-criticism, and went on writing more, blacker poems for the underground press. In 1989, a foreign friend took him to visit Nanjing. Liao was instantly struck by the beauty and tranquility of this ancient city, and contrasted it with the ugliness and desolation of modern industrial China. He began a poem and called it Slaughter. He found writing it difficult and might have abandoned the poem altogether had he not heard over the BBC World Service about the violence in Tiananmen Square, the arrests, the injuries, the deaths. The horror of those days of June 1989 inspired Liao, and he sat down again to finish Slaughter. He wrote, "The old, toothless machinery of the state rolls towards those who have the courage to resist the sickness. Ironclad professional killers swim in a sea of blood, set fire beneath tightly closed windows, wipe their army regulation boots with the skirts of dead girls." Liao, say his friends, was not really writing about oppression in China, but brutality everywhere. The Chinese authorities didn't see it that way. When Liao and 5 friends of his, all poets, decided to include Slaughter in a video recording of their work, they were soon arrested. The 5 other poets were eventually set free, but not Liao, who was seen as the ringleader and accused of writing subversive poetry and making plans to leave the country. After many months in jail, he was given a secret trial and sentenced to 4 years in prison. Liao had married in 1984. His wife, Li Xia, was also arrested. She had copied her husband's poem in her far better hand. That was all she had done, and she was soon set free. A few months later, Li Xia gave birth to their first child, a boy. Liao has only recently been allowed to see his wife for the first time. He has not been allowed to see his baby son. There are said to be hundreds, perhaps thousands, of political prisoners in China's jails today. Among them are many writers and poets who are there for no other reason except that they refuse to cooperate or conform. In his poem Slaughter, Liao spoke for all of them. "We stand in the midst of brilliance, but all people are blind. We stand on a great road, but no one is able to walk. We stand in the midst of cacophony, but all are mute." If you would like to help Liao Yiwu, please send a stamped addressed envelope for further information to Prisoners of Conscience, BBC Television, London, W12 7RJ, or you can telephone this number now, free of charge, 0800 767 800.